Greetings, Science Fair coordinators. This is Frank, and I'm coming to you live. Actually, not live, but I am coming to you from my house. I know what a busy week this last week of the second semester is. So I thought instead of having you guys come down to the DSC, we could do something a little more convenient for you guys. So I've created this webinar to kind of give you the wrap up of the 2019 SISD Middle School Science and Engineering Fair. So let's get started. Let's see if this will work. Last year I kind of put together some stuff that I wanted to make sure that you guys understood and that we knew the different stats for how many kids were entered, and I showed you just for different entries per category, grade level, that kind of thing. So I've done the same thing again this year. So looking at this year's data, we can kind of see that here are the entries per category. So you can see every category. The 21 categories are here. And then you have entries per grade level, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, and the total for each category. We really had about 15 entries we could have had per grade level, just one from each campus. And you can kind of see the categories where we were close to hitting 15 in different areas. A lot of 13s, a lot of 12s in different areas. Computational biology and bioinformatics continues to be one of the smaller fields, along with robotics and intelligent machines, as well as system software and translational medicine. The bigger categories are still physics, material science was big, energy, sustainable, and materials. The new combination of previous categories from years past, biomedical health. Those are some of our bigger categories. I also put together medals by campus. So you can see here that here are the campuses in order, in alpha order, and their counts per medal: gold medal, silver medals, and bronze medals, and then a total from 2018. And then I included a column that had the totals from 2018 and the difference in the two. So anything in green is a positive gain, anything in red is a negative, and anything in yellow is the same. So we can see that Bill Seibert had huge gains from 2018 to 2019 with 12 medals. Clark jumped in as well with 6, and Herschel Antwine in their first year back in the middle school science fair with 6th grade and walked away with 7 medals. So congratulations to you guys. And then I've also included the entries per campus. So just a reminder that at the beginning of the year, the push was to beat last year's numbers of entries, and we obviously did that. If we had 630 total entries, which was 160 more entries than we did last year, you guys obviously pushed at the campus, and some changes were made, and the results spoke for themselves. So I'm super pleased about that. It is something that I want to push for. I want more of it. I want more kids to participate in this, and it's going to be more challenges for us on the organization end, but that's okay. I think if our kids get the advantage or that opportunity to participate, it's better for them. So I'm willing to work a little bit harder to get some judges, and I think we had a decent number of judges this year. So I want to continue to push and see how many kids we can give that opportunity to. So you have your 6th grade participants, 7th grade participants, and 8th grade participants. Because of the change in the category, our new goal per grade level was 21, one per each category. and a total of 63 would be what would be sent from a campus if we maxed out all our spots. So what I did is I have a total here, and then the missed opportunity category, which is 63 minus your total. So Cybert had a total of 58 entries, 16 in 6th grade, 21 in 7th maxed out, 21 in 8th grade maxed out, for a total of that 58. So there was five opportunities for kids to be able to participate that were missed. But then I compared it to the 2018 missed opportunities, and Cyberts had 35 missed opportunities last year. So this year they were sending, they had 30 more opportunities that they were given to the kids. Keep in mind the numbers may not be exact, just because the 2018 max was 66. The goal was of 66 categories because we had an extra category. 66 students because we had an extra category. But everybody in green managed to increase their number, and that was the goal, just to beat the number that you guys sent last year. And the majority of you guys did. Herschel Antoine here is a -1 because they were only one student away from maxing out 6th grade. They didn't have any data from last year, so they were already +20 actually. So this red -1 should actually be a +20 just because they didn't have any numbers last year. The only other number here was Socorro, so they went down by 4 less opportunities that were given. So but I wouldn't worry about anybody else's numbers. I would always be concerned with your own numbers and just trying to beat that number. So I understand it's a process, and I understand there's challenges that are involved with it, but just try to beat your previous year's number by 1 or 2. As long as you beat the number, I think we're moving in the right direction. A couple things now that the middle school science fair is over. Couple reminders now that your kids who have finished first place, students that have finished in first place in their category are now eligible for Sun Country Regional Science Fair. And what that means is that before now and January 15th, I'm setting a deadline, we have to get our kids moved through on science here. So your first place winners from your campus, we want to ensure that they are 100% done with science here. If they're stuck in SRC, I will send out message again to the SRC to start checking out projects so we can start moving these kids forward. I would like to have your campus finalized in science here by January 15th. Now remember, let's make sure that we are moving our kids in. We're checking, we're double checking before we're doing any finalization. Making sure all your students who are moving on are actually have been moved on there in science here before we finalize. Finalize is a pretty final step as far as science here goes. So those of you that are new to science here, I can help you. We can work this thing out together just to make sure that these kids are moving on. So just step number 1 before January 15th, if you guys could start to update your science here and move your campus winners onto the district level. And I know we're kind of a level behind, but that way when after the high school science fair, I will have access to move your kids on to the Sun Country Regional Science Fair as well. High school fair is on February 1st this year. It will be held again at Pebble Hills High School. If you are willing to help, we could always use your help in tabulation. There are only 7 high school coordinators, so any help would be greatly appreciated from you guys. The Sun Country Regional Science Fair will be the end of the month, February 29th, also at Pebble Hills High School. And then followed several weeks later, at the end of the month of March, by the Texas State Science and Engineering Fair, hosted by Texas A&M University in College Station. The expectation is that if you have a student that qualifies for Sun Country or a student that qualifies for the state competition, that you as a coordinator will be there to participate in those events. So those of you that have first place finishers from your campus, the expectation is that you guys will work the Sun Country Regional Science Fair on February 29th. And most likely in the same capacity as we've worked the middle school science and engineering fair, as tabulators, things of that nature. So just make sure you're making plans and you're clearing your schedule for those dates. Once we have results from Sun Country, then we can start planning out for the state trip. The state trip, the fair is on the 28th, Saturday, 28th of March, but we'll most likely be leaving Thursday, March 26th, so we can register Friday, March 27th, and be able to compete March 28th, coming back home on March 29th. And I sent you a form for feedback purposes for the science fair that we just held on, that was just held on Saturday. Danielle and Dr. Navares and I look at that, and we take your feedback and we try to make changes. So it is important that you guys let us know what we can get better at and what you did well. So I think it's very important that you guys give us your feedback. And then I actually, and I told you that it was only open, that survey was only open until Wednesday. I've opened it back up again. I've only had 5 responses since I sent out the survey on Monday. So I'm going to open it back up until Friday, and I'd really like to get your feedback from this science fair. And as always, this PowerPoint will be uploaded onto the new Teams. So that way you guys can have access to it. You guys can kind of see where your kids are at and what your medal count was out. It's always a process. I understand it's a process, and I understand that you guys, the challenges that you face before we even leave the campuses are great, and I appreciate your efforts. The science fair would not be a success without your efforts. You guys go in there, we work and we want to do things as well as we possibly can, and it's all for the kids. So again, thank you guys for your efforts. I hope this is a more convenient way of getting together and passing on information, and that way we don't have to, I know the basketball tournament's going on right now, and there's Christmas fairs, and there's performances and a whole bunch of things going on this week. So it's a very busy week, and we can all see the light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you again, everybody. Happy holidays. I hope you guys get some rest and spend time with loved ones. So, and that's what I plan on doing during the break. If you have any questions, as always, my phone number is my cell phone. My personal cell phone is at the bottom of any emails. Call me, text me, email me, whatever you need to do. So if you have any concerns. All right, guys. That is the wrap up of the Middle School Science Fair for 2019. You guys have a good day. Bye.